being a Sunshine Kid, like I said, it brought me together with a group of people who understood what it was like. Having friends in school, they're your friends, they're going to support you, which is wonderful. But having kids and friends who understand what chemo is like, radiation, what a bone marrow feels like, is just totally different when you share that common experience and that common bond. So it just really made me feel normal.
Yeah. So we're doing a research project on how instilling a sense of community can improve the mental states of patients with terminal illnesses. Throughout your time at the Sunshine Kids, how have you seen a change of the mental state of the kids you work with?
That's a great question, because basically what we do, as we said, we try to provide positive group activities for kids with cancer. And with that, I think I mentioned, is we don't focus on their illness. We focus on, we're taking you to the Dodger game or to the zoo or to Legoland or Knott's Berry Farm. We focus on the fun aspect. So it gets their minds off everything that they're going through and what's hard. So for us, we get to see the kids who sometimes they might get invited to an event and they're having a really rough day, or they've had a really rough week of treatment. And then they come to Knott's Berry Farm and they leave with the biggest smile on their face and ice cream all over their face, and they just got to be a kid. Yeah. And I think that's a huge improvement for them mentally, because then when they're going back to treatment the next week, we always hear stories about, oh, so-and-so was in here and was just beaming and glowing and sharing pictures. And we hear that from the medical side, from their doctors, their nurses, the social workers, who are saying, thank you so much for inviting them. And it could be to just one little event, but that one little event just made a huge difference.
Right. And so this is a little off book, but how do you think that these sort of changes contribute to like their treatment and how they interact with them, having this terminal illness?
Well, I think it definitely kind of brings a different light to their minds. Like, it kind of changes your perspective a little bit. Like I said, you might be having a down week in treatment, but when you see other kids who are just like you, and you see that you're not the only one maybe in your school like that, and you're with other kids, it really just changes them and kind of gives them that pep in their step. They kind of have that positive attitude. They're like, I can beat this thing, or I can kick this thing. So, you see that a lot. And I think, obviously, mental and how you tackle things like cancer or anything, your mind is a very powerful thing. And so if you are positive, I really think that just makes a huge difference in how you handle your treatment, too. Because, I've been on some of our national trips and have walked by, kids sitting at a table playing a game, and I heard a kid say, so yeah, they asked me and I decided to go ahead and have my leg cut off. And I'm like, what? But that's real life for them.
Right. Yeah.
That's what's going on. And what was neat was, in that situation, so the kid who was an amputee, a young lady who was talking with that group, when she went back from the trip, was going to have to be amputated. Wow. So it kind of gave her the confidence to hear, him go through it. And he was like, oh, it's no big deal, and you'll be fine. Oh, wow. And so it's just interesting. It's interesting, like I said, how they start to share that stuff with each other.